Shoo-doo-ba-doo. Hey, Big A, did you ever get to hike up the mountains around Seoul? Your sentence is super long, but I did not. I didn't do any hiking when I lived in Korea. I did drinking, okay? It was way cooler and also way sadder by the end of it. I did a lot of drinking, and then I played in PC bongs at like 2 in the morning. And then I would do that till 5 a.m., take the train home into my little dorm, and then I would skateboard to class, which was pass-fail, and I would still be borderline. A good time nonetheless. Honestly, it was funny. Living in Korea, it was like, I was there, what, 8, 9 months? Let's say 9 months, all right? The first 8 months, I'm just having a blast, dude. And then, like, I hit a wall. One day, I just hit a wall, and I became super homesick, super unhealthy, like, it all caught up with me, and also, like, super behind in even the limited schoolwork I had there all at once, and I just, like, hated it. I hate it. The last month in Korea, I was, like, so depressed. PC bongs are such a popular idea, or sick idea. Why isn't that popular in the West? I think it had to do with the quirk of Korea's having an import tax on consoles and also having a weaker economy until like recently. They grew pretty fast. And so they had like public PC rooms and net cafes that became cool places to play games. They also had a bunch of pirated games on them, and there's like a whole story behind it. It does suck because they've evolved now and they're really cool. And like Korea is a quote unquote rich country now and they still use them because they're fucking sick. The ones in America are shitty. But also like in Seoul, you have a gazillion people living very close with great, I mean, excellent, I mean, world-class public transport. Almost 24/7 clean, fast subways that go everywhere. And so like if your friend lives in the other side of town, you can see each other really easily. But in America, you need to have a car, you need gas money, which is expensive, you need parking, you need, do you understand? It's just like, we have such a spread out country that it becomes very difficult to have like communal meeting places of the same level of ease. Why doesn't Japan simply make more PlayStations if their economy sucks? The problem with Japan is not necessarily that they make too few PlayStations. I know that's a great theory, and I really commend you for suggesting it. I think more the problem with Japan is that their government has printed an absolutely absurd amount of money in an attempt to prop absolutely everything up for such a long period of time that it's starting to show cracks in the system. Therefore, printing money to build more PlayStations would not be a solution to the problem. I did find out today, I think I already knew this, I've actually talked about this, but it really hit me how Nintendo is like a relatively small company. Nintendo is $20 billion smaller than Activision Blizzard, which just got finalized. It got bought today, confirmed. UK passed it. It's happening 100%. The stock is delisted. Just crazy. It just feels like it's small. What happened to people with stock in Blizzard? They get paid the purchase price by Microsoft. If you are holding a share as of yesterday, your share was dissolved, and in your account, you are credited the amount of dollars. Do I have to pay tax on it? Yes. Why would you not? Why would you not? Why, in what world would you not have to pay tax on it just because, what makes it different? Paid tax with the money I bought the stocks with though? I'll give you guys a quick breakdown because I feel like you guys don't understand this, and I didn't understand it, obviously. I have a video about it. I think I have a video called I'm Not Paying, about the first time I got a big tax bill from the IRS for selling stock. It's an old video. It's like 2021. I had to skateboard across San Francisco to find a guy named the Tax Ninja. It was crazy. So let me tell you how it goes. If you buy a stock for $100 and then it goes to 150, or let's say 200, and then you sell it, you only pay a tax on the difference of the amount you made between 100 and 200. The $100 is called your cost basis, and then you pay a tax on that 100 extra dollars you made. You don't pay it on the whole thing. You're not paying tax on the 200. If the stock went down, you're not paying taxes when you sell it. And a little known fact, well, should be very widely known, but maybe you don't. If you buy a stock for $100 and you hold it for a year, at least 1 year, and then you sell it for 200 or 250 or whatever, you pay a much lower tax rate because it's called long-term capital gains because you held it for the quote long term. That's 1 year. So if you hold a stock for more than 1 year, you pay a much lower tax, which is like 15%. And if you do it for under a year, you just pay your normal tax rate, which could be lower, actually. Technically, it could be lower. Do you pay tax when passing stock to your children? I'm not 100% on the fucking rules of estate law, but in general, you don't pay any taxes on stock until you sell it. Like stock has no tax value until it's sold. Only sell stocks at a loss, so the IRS always owes you money, 5head. You're kind of joking. People do that. It's called tax loss harvesting. So what happens is around the end of the year, let's say November, December, let's say you have a stock that's way down, but you're like, I'm gonna hodl this stock till it goes back up. So what you do is at the end of the year, you sell it, take a big fat loss, put that on your taxes. So you can subtract, like, let's say you lost $10,000 in that stock. You can subtract that from your taxes, take $10,000 off. And then in January or February, you buy the stock back, hoping that it's still low. You cannot immediately rebuy. That's what I said. In January, you have to wait a few months. That's legal as long as you don't immediately rebuy. You have to wait a certain amount of time, a month or two. I don't know exactly what it is, but in general, you can do it. I've done it. I did it with Alibaba. I tax loss because I had bought a good amount of Alibaba and it went to the shit, absolute shitter. And so I was like, well, I need to get something out of this. And I had made a ton of money on Nvidia that year. So I sold some to Alibaba at a loss, tax loss harvesting. And then I waited a month or two and then I bought it back and it hadn't changed. So it was like, it was equivalent to a wash sale, but I waited enough time. Hey, Big A, I'm a 16-year-old interested in economics. Where can I learn more? There's this great YouTuber who does this show called Marketing Monday. You should watch that with full retention every single week. Every single week. I would watch it twice, 3 times. What day of the week is it? It's never Monday. Not gonna lie, ever since I deleted Twitter, you're the only source of news I consume. I think when people say that, I get a little nervous because I really only cover news like on Monday, you know? So it's like, I mean, maybe it's a nice way to live. Honestly, it probably is. I think all of us could stand to consume a little bit less breaking news. I think most people, especially because we have no ability to influence or impact any of it, and we are all expected in the age of social media to have not only an opinion, but a strongly held one, which I think causes people to whiplash between breaking news topics day after day, month after month, week after week, and burn a lot of time on relatively unhelpful pursuits. I'm not saying, I think some people are reading into this too much for specific things. I'm just talking about in general. I think many people could stand to read a little bit less of breaking news. I strongly believe the news is not actually broken like you claim. Interesting. I think we might be using the word news in different ways. I myself quite enjoy reading like updates from the Financial Times and New York Times, but I don't think if I went to whatever's trending on Twitter every single day and consumed it, that it would make my quality of life or even my informed opinions any better. Hello, Brandon. I have an inkling you might be a bit of a gamer, but if you can take a break from high-level assassinations and beating bosses as Pinocchio, it would be nice to hear about you and all you have to offer. Things like your credit card information. Well, thanks for buttering me up. I didn't fall for it though. I gotta be honest with you. It almost worked. I was super buttered up and I almost felt like, yeah, I'll tell this guy about my credit card information. But then I realized possibly you're trying to lure me into a trap.